Hi, everybody. Angel here. Hope you're doing great. And I'm super excited today to speak with Ronnie. And Ronnie is a women's wellness coach. And we will get started momentarily. I want to thank you all for joining, either live or on the replay. And if you've missed any of my previous episodes, just check them out on IGTV. Hi, Ronnie. How are you?
I'm doing great. And oh, you look so good. You got the sparkles on.
Yes, I love to play with filters.
Yay! I'm so happy. I have a new I don't know what you call them. I forgot what you call them. You know when you have like LOL whatever. And
Oh,
I'm going
yeah.
TG wait. TGIHF. TGIHF.
Okay. So thank God it's what?
A
What
holiday
Friday?
Friday. Because it's the holiday. Okay, so we got a new Christmas tree. I haven't put it up yet. The cat's already going, oh my God, a box.
Yeah, yeah. And then they're going to start climbing, right?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm Ronnie Loiza. I'm Ronnie Low Life Coach here on Instagram. And I love Angela. I call her Angela. I know everybody knows her as the yummy vegan. But
Thank
I've
you.
just been really excited because I know I was a personal trainer for over a decade, and I still am. But I am now a life coach, a holistic life coach for women with a positive approach to your mind, your body, and your own self-health care advocacy. And one thing that's come up for me as a personal trainer, and Angela knows this because she's a member of my Facebook group, which is Fab After 40, Women's Health and Wellness Club. No, Health and Mindset. I changed it. But anyway, I interviewed her because in my over a decade, oh my gosh, going on a dozen years, I saw, and I'd love to talk about this with the holidays, how women, and I'm generalizing and broad brushing, I realize this, but I would love your comments, whether it's the replay or right now live. Many women used to tell me that they turned vegan or vegetarian. Mostly vegetarians complained how they would gain weight. And then we would take their body fat percentage and they were increasing in body fat because they were either doing too much cardio and not enough muscle resistance, or B, when we looked at their diet, they didn't know how to be a vegetarian or how to be a vegan and get the proper amount of proteins and fat. So I would love to talk about this now during the holidays. How do you, Angela, help your people that you coach and your followers really live a vegan lifestyle and a vegetarian lifestyle during the holidays when everybody's like shoving brownies in front of them and shoving chicken and because the family dynamics come to play when you
Totally.
visit your in-laws and your parents and you go to social things. So I would love to tap into that a little bit.
Sure, Ronnie. And thank you for the question. I do want to say hi to everybody who's joining. Please put your questions and comments down below for Ronnie as we go along, and she'll be happy to answer. So, Ronnie, I am actually having a lot of these conversations, particularly on Clubhouse.
Yeah.
We just had Thanksgiving in the US. I know in Canada, they had their Thanksgiving about a month before us. The year-end holidays are coming up. The New Year's holidays are coming up. So I've been talking about this a lot.
Yeah. Are you there?
Yes, yes.
My phone fell. I'm so sorry. Are you there?
No worries. Yep, I'm still
Okay.
here. No worries. So one of the things that I discuss is, first of all, knowing why you want to be a vegan, why you want to live this lifestyle is very important. Is it for your health? Is it for, the sentient animals? Is it for the planet? Because a lot of times when people don't have like a solid why or why, several reasons, it's super easy to, be tempted by that, turkey that's on the table, the ham that's on the table. It's so familiar. And also, some people will kind of, poke at you a little bit and try to get you to do whatever and get you to do what everybody else is doing, and also get you to do what you personally were doing for, decades and decades and decades, right? Especially if you just, change your diet or your lifestyle. The other thing that I am working on a lot with people I'm coaching is really finding vegan alternatives and vegan options to the familiar dishes. So let's say that you like to have, or you typically have, a roast or a turkey or macaroni and cheese or sweet potato, something or the other, or some kind of, pies and cakes and all of that. There are so many vegan recipes out there that are free.
Yeah, and
And
people think, oh yeah, but sweet potato. It's like, well, yeah, but it's the things that go with the sweet potato, or like really the stuffing. It's like you'd be amazed at the things that come from animals that are ingredients in these dishes, not necessarily just the one.
yeah,
Sweet potatoes, like sweet
yeah,
potato pie or
yeah.
yams and all that, and they start putting things ingredients. So if you want to be a true vegan, and it depends how much of a vegan, but you know about this, you can look for alternatives of the ingredients into these dishes.
Yeah, and more and more every day, I'm serious, every day there's so many more plant-based vegan
Yeah.
alternatives for dairy, for eggs, for what we call meats and seafoods. There's so many
Are.
alternatives now, and it's just getting much, much easier. So I think it really depends on the person's mindset. Why do they really want to do this? Also, what I like to do is to think about, well, how am I going to feel after I eat, for example, a macaroni and cheese that's made with, the traditional animal dairy.
The butters, milks, yeah.
Yeah. And the cheeses, I know that I'm going to have, indigestion, bloating, gas, et cetera, et cetera.
Gut
So
bacteria, all that.
yeah, so I personally find it easy, and I have several reasons why I'm vegan. So for me, it's not a big deal, but I do know, based on the, conversations I'm having,
Yeah.
that it is very challenging, particularly at this time of year.
So I'd like to go into that a little bit, if you don't mind. This is your Instagram live, so shut me off when you have to. But two different things. There's what are the tactics, the strategies, the diet meals, all that, all the meal plans. That's one aspect. But since I'm a life coach, and since you coach women on this too, let's talk about the mindset, the mind.
Yeah.
Really going into Thanksgiving is when some of my clients started going, oh my gosh, Thanksgiving. And we started talking about different things, not just veganism,
No, right, right.
talking about dieting
Yeah, in general.
has to do with that. It's like, oh my gosh, they're going to have the liquors, they're going to have the champagnes and the beer
Yeah,
wines, they're going
yeah,
to
yeah.
have all this food that Aunt Emma has, that my aunt
Yes.
has, that my mom has, so my sister-in-law, and it's like, one lady told me, and I can say this because I asked her, I don't talk about my clients unless I
No,
ask.
no, right, right.
One lady told me she went home and her sister-in-law was insisting she have that pumpkin pie.
Yeah,
Well, my client didn't want the pumpkin pie, but there was a reason. Not because
exactly.
she was scared of it, or, oh my God, calories, or I'm calorie counting, because they were going to another place afterward for dessert.
Oh boy.
Some other family.
Yes.
So she was like, I'm going to blah, 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 blah. She's like, but you have to try my pie. So my client, I'm sorry, we hadn't prepared for this. So this is like, because she's a new client,
Yeah.
just didn't know what to do because her sister-in-law started mouthing the word rude.
Oh la la.
Rude, rude, so rude.
Ooh.
And so my client was like, oh my God, oh my God. And and her husband did not help her by
No,
saying, oh, you
he
don't know
didn't back
what.
her up.
He was
Yeah.
looking at her like, try her pie.
Ooh.
Okay, so back it down. It's not necessarily that I'm saying go with a script or what you're going to say or your defense is up. Right now, as we're going to community things, church outings, friends, restaurants, get
Yeah.
together, and then the family,
Yeah.
I really invite my clients and we coach it out for them to think about, okay, what are you afraid of? Let's face those
Oh.
monsters. What are the things you face every year? And so, for example, if you think, okay, the family's going to get together and you spend all day together and everybody's nibbling mindlessly, let's say.
All day.
Okay. And it's like, well, let's expect that. Let's feel how that's going to feel. Let's imagine ourselves in that place. What are you scared of? And then they start being, and really what comes out, and I know I'm fast forwarding through this, are the old family dynamics. You could be 42 years old, 52 years old, it doesn't matter. You still turn back into that 12-year-old or that 14-year-old when you're with that family.
Totally.
So how, your place in that family. So not to say prepare for what you're going to come back with, but more like already let's feel that. Let's go through the experience
I
already
love that.
in it, and then realize I'm not going to change them. For them, tradition is food is love, or
Yes.
tradition is love. People don't
Yeah.
want to let go of their set ways. So already show up knowing that with compassion, knowing you already went through those feelings, and already just see it however you want to deal with it. With me, it's sense of humor. I make a joke about things.
Yeah. I just read about that too. Yeah.
Oh, really? And so
Yeah.
prepare yourself how you can, but the main thing is already face those fears, those annoyances. Why are you frustrated? What triggers you? Work through it. And so when you show up, it's already happened in your mind. And then just, hug your mom, kiss her on the cheeks, like, yeah, I know, I love that stuffing of yours. Maybe put a little on the plate, or maybe talk to if you're vegan, talk to your family beforehand going, please accept me as I am. Please know that I love being with you, and
Yeah.
and already start the conversation. I have decided to do this for my health or for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And I'm going to bring a casserole, or I'm going to bring whatever.
Yeah.
And if it comes up during dinner, like people poke at you or something, just laugh about it like, yep, I invite you to try some, and change the subject, or however you want to deal with it. But it's like the military. They plan for every worst case scenario and every
Strategy.
so if it comes up, they already, the thing is,
They have a game plan.
experienced it emotionally and mentally. Okay, the military mostly mentally. But if you already go through those fears and what could come up and talk it out, maybe with a friend or with your coach, then it's out. It doesn't surprise you like smack, like it did my one client with, you're rude, you're so rude, to her face. It's like she had prepared those feelings. It's like,
Yeah.
actually, I would love to have your pie. And I imagine myself with the leftover tomorrow when I'm watching my favorite Netflix, and with my cocoa or my cider, and I'm just enjoying your pie. May I please wrap it up, because we have this obligation elsewhere.
Someone I was coaching yesterday actually said that she's going to a gathering with her girlfriends for the holidays. And she already has a game plan for what she's going to eat for the main course. However, there will be cake, quote unquote, and there'll be some dessert. And she already has a game plan to do what she's going to do is a switcheroo. So she will accept that they serve her in the restaurant the cake. And she already has a plan that she will then offer that cake to someone else at the table, whoever wants it. So, but you're right. There's so many dynamics. We've been raised to be Miss Goody Two-Shoes, to be a people pleaser, not to rock the boat, don't go against the grain, don't go against the flow. So it is very, very tricky.
Or stand out, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You're different. You're rejecting us. What do you mean you don't eat macaroni and cheese? You've been eating it all your life. What do you mean you don't want my carrot cake? You've been eating it all your life. You always told me how yummy it was. So it's very, very tricky. What a lot of vegans do nowadays as well is they take extra dishes to the gathering.
Right.
And so many people tell me that the other guests actually gobble up their dishes because they're so good. They don't even know that these are vegan versions of their familiar dishes. They don't even know that, the animal dairy is being switched out for plant-based dairy. The eggs are not from chickens. They're from, for example, flaxseed or some other, chickpeas or something. So it's really, really easy to switch it out. I just think you just have to have that intention. It's all about mindset, intention. What are your goals in life? So I really appreciate you bringing this up, Ronnie, because it is super, it's not as simple as, well, I'll just take, 5 vegan dishes. No, it's not that simple. You do have to have a game plan. Another person I was coaching the other day said to me, when it was time to leave, someone was really, really trying to convince him to take dessert to go.
Oh, okay.
And he said, I'm good, I'm good. I just, I had enough to eat. I'm good, I'm good. And he's losing weight too. So in other words, he really wanted, he has like excess weight on him. And so, that's the other thing too. Like, tell the person, you're kind of on a diet, et cetera, et cetera. Now, other people
Yeah,
take another approach. There's
yeah,
someone else I was talking to recently. And so she plans on staying like on her vegan journey, her plant-based journey. However, she's telling herself, even if she indulges in like some cakes and pastries and all that are plant-based or vegan, she is not going to make a big deal about it because it's just a few times a year that she has these parties and all of that. So, like give yourself a break, quote unquote, and just
well,
kind of go
that's
go
the
with the flow.
you want to add to that. For example, if you go somewhere to a restaurant, go aside, go like you're going to the bathroom, talk to your waiter and say, would you please bring me this or not serve me that? Okay. That really helps a lot. Go ahead and tell them, or do you have sorbet, or do you have anything vegan? If you don't want to bring it up at the table, because what happens a lot of times, Angela, and we're talking vegan right now, but this happens a lot with dieting, let's say on
In general.
or keto or a special diet,
Yeah.
then the whole table is talking about dieting and their thing, and it turns into the topic. It's like, no, you don't want that. So if you tell the waiter on the side, would you please bring me this no matter what? And the other thing is when people say, I'm sorry, this is me being my accountability coach now. Just because it's the holidays, because a lot of people say, well, I'll put off the dieting until whenever. I'll put off the calorie cycling until the first of the year after the holidays. It's like, okay, let's talk about this. Does that mean during the holidays you're going to be a glutton? Mistreat your body? That you're just going to stuff it? No. Calories are not the devil. Calories are like algebra or geometry or any other form of math. It's just the unit. It's a measure of how your body burns the energy in you. That's it. Don't look at it like, oh, I can't count calories. It's like, eyeball it. You know a banana's 100. You know an apple is 80. You know an egg is 80. You don't have to sit there with the Lose It or My Fitness Plus, my Fitbit or whatever at the table. Still know about how much you eat. So when I hear indulge or I'll worry about it after the holidays, it's like, why not love your body, stick to the diet you're on, respect your body, eat, love it, savor it. Just
enjoy it.
overeat.
Yeah,
Why?
enjoy it.
Oh my God, I'm going to eat 10,000 calories. Eat what you want. Just don't overdo it. And really, 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 you can work out in 10 minutes. In my Instagram, in my bio, I have a 10-minute workout for busy women. I left it in there during the holidays. I could change the title because no matter what, if you work your muscles, you will rev up your metabolism.
Yeah.
You're not going to have to worry about that extra glass of champagne. Okay. Count your calories in your head, knowing, and I don't mean like every ounce and weigh your food, but know how much you're putting in your body. Don't mistreat it. Exercise so you rev up your metabolism. Get enough sleep so you don't think that I need energy because I need food.
Yeah.
No,
I've been there. Believe me, I used to do that. I used to eat for energy because I wasn't even getting enough rest. Yeah.
So I invite you to really look at watching how much you eat as you are in control. You're the one in control, baby cakes. Eat what you want. Eat that piece of candy, whatever, but know it's within your calorie count. Again, you don't have to like down to the gram, but know how much you put in. When you take your car to the gas station, it tells you when it's full. Your body doesn't do that, even though if we listen to our body, it does.
It will. Yeah.
But we keep putting a little more. Your body doesn't know what to do with that extra energy, so it packs it on as fat. Then you're mistreating yourself, and then we start this whole cycle again in January.
Yeah. Many years ago, I used to see a nutritionist. This was when I was vegetarian, pescatarian, and I would kind of worry about the holidays a little bit. And she would tell me, which I totally agree with. She would say, listen, it's just one day, right? You can't even gain a pound because you need 3,500 calories to even gain a pound. Plus you're burning constantly. So, that kind of alleviated a lot of stress for me around the holidays. So even if I did have, something that was highly caloric, I knew that I wasn't going to even gain a pound. So it wasn't even a big deal.
Of that morning, you already revved your metabolism. So you need to replenish that calories. That's why I'm saying work out. during the
Yeah.
holidays.
So Ronnie, tell us please. First of all, I want to like rewind here a little bit. So Ronnie, tell us please, what was your inspiration and mission in becoming a life coach?
I joke around, but it's the truth. My personal training clients, a handful, and I know which ones, and a friend, turned me into a coach. It was because of March 2020 when all the private studios started
We're
closing.
closed.
And I used to train one-on-one in private studios, and I used to train people at home. Bing, bang, boom. I'm like, what do I do? I used to not be an Instagram girl. I didn't know all the special effects like you do. I still don't. Um, but I was like, I'm not a selfie taking kind of Instagram girl. Oh my God, what do I do? My husband's like, let's just set you up, go on Zoom. I started
Awesome.
on Zoom. I
Awesome.
realized I was so laser focused on that session, more so than in person at the gym,
Nice, nice.
because we were just, you know. But I hung out and talked to a lot of clients, especially a handful, afterward about their friends, about their colleagues, who were just having really hard times fitting fitness in their life with the pandemic. Their kids were at home,
Oh
everybody's
yeah.
off the dining
And
room.
they're working at home too.
And people at the time now, yes, we've got our new groove, our new schedule. A lot of people are back at the
Yeah,
office or
yeah,
hospital or hybrid. But at the
yeah.
time, women did not want to be indispensable because there were a lot of layoffs or they were the boss. So there was just a lot of what we call now new norms, which is kind of redundant. But finding their place, I'd be like, okay, let me talk to them. And I really found myself listening to them and seeing how the anxiety, even though you may not think you're anxious, you've got it all together. You're taking care of the schedules, you're taking care of business. The body, the brain, as you know, takes in all this anxiety and it doesn't know where the stress is coming from, whether it's physical or mental. And the more that we don't work it out, the more that we don't take care of ourselves, inside our body's going through stress. It's
Yeah.
called stress, really. So I was listening to a lot of people and working through that. We all have anxiety in us. We all do.
Of course. It's natural. It's normal.
It's instinctual. But humans don't do what the warthog does. The warthog sees the lion and runs. We internalize a lot of things.
Then it becomes subconscious and it, yeah,
We don't
dictates a lot of what we do. Yeah.
have another email and the whole thing. So one day, a friend of mine was going through a hard time in the morning, and she's like, oh my God. I'm like, do you want me to call you? And it was 7 a.m. She goes, that would be nice. And I was joking around about it, like, let's coach it out. So all I did was have her talk about her fears going into work that day, because she had this huge project and blah, blah, blah.
Oh my.
Working till midnight the night before. She was up at 4 a.m. And she's like, thank you, Ronnie. That really helped. And then
Of
more
course.
and more I was doing this, somebody else said, thank you. Wow, you really coached me through that. People were starting to say I was coaching them. And one of my clients said, you really should become a coach. Let's backtrack a little. When I was 46 years old, I'm now 56 and a half. I sound like a kindergartner.
Yeah.
I was 46. I had health issues. I was aging, but my back hurt, my glutes hurt, and my hip hurt. Long story short, I was just aging. I had pounded my body as a kid, jogging, remember that? Aerobics, remember that? It's now cardio. I pounded the hell out of my little body, and my knee and my hip were starting to tell me, hey, you can't do this anymore. So I got put with a corrective exercise specialist personal trainer. I was in PR. I was not a fitness person. I worked out, but I was not into fitness. My back did not hurt within 2 weeks of working with her. And the more I worked with her that year, she kept saying, you need to be a personal trainer. I'm like, I'm 46. Who does that?
It's never too late.
And she's like, because if you become a personal trainer, women will look at you at your age and relate to you. Same thing happened. That's what turned me into a personal trainer a year later. I'm like, you know what? I think I'll be a personal trainer the rest of my life. Same thing happened to me as a coach. It's like, you need to be a coach.
I love that. You know what I love too? First of all, you're like listening to the demand. You're like a demand and supply. If there's a demand, you will supply. It's like economics, right? Demand and supply. If there's a demand, then you supply. I really love that because you are filling a need.
Oh, I can't hear you.
So I really love that. Yeah. So
because you turned into a vegan for your health issues. And then when you started learning more, you're like, I need to share this. I need to share.
yeah,
And you were
yeah,
sharing for free until you realize people need this and want this.
yeah, yeah,
And
exactly.
and that's why I always thought I have to, and wrap us up when you need to, okay?
No,
Because I
no, yeah.
talk a lot. But I really thought 10 years ago, 20 years ago, that only like really hoity-toity Sex in the City kind of women hired coaches. You know, it's like, it's a life coach. I started hearing of life coaches around the year 2000. I'm like,
Yeah.
who needs a life coach? I've got a mother, you know. And I thought, okay, executive coaches, business coaches. I really thought it was for the executives, the C-suite
Mm.
women, or somebody that really had a lot
I
of money.
think that's how it started. Yeah.
But the thing is, it works because
I
even
agree.
coaches need coaches. A coach is not a mentor.
I have a coach.
There you
Yeah.
go. A coach is not a mentor. A mentor is somebody you look up to because they've already achieved a status or a place like in your field, and you want them to be your role model
Exactly.
and advise you.
Mhm.
What was I going to say? A trainer is different. In training in business, training in anything, they teach you how to do something. And a coach, like you see athletes, for example, they already know your strengths and
Mhm.
they know your weaknesses. So
Mhm.
do you. So you have to, they see you objectively out in the field, and then they bring it back in. Okay, I saw you doing this. I saw you doing that. Or like if you're a golfer, Tiger Woods always had a coach, different from his trainer, because a coach knows you so well
I
that they
agree.
get you to start realizing, what did I feel? What was I thinking? What was I doing? Because you know yourself and helping you connect with yourself. They partner up with you. And I realized all types of coaches work: clarity coach, confidence coach, life coach, holistic coach. They all work because they tap into what you already know, but it's hard to talk yourself into or out of something, or clarify something and use yourself as a sounding board. Yes, you need to connect with yourself, but it's also good to get it out. And this is my form of coaching, is reflective thinking. I hear what you
Mhm.
say and we go over it again, and then you realize what you just said. A lot of people don't realize what comes out of their mouth.
Until they say it, and then you have to play it back. But I also see the coaching, um, uh, shall we say, connection as a relationship as well. Like, I think it's a deeper relationship than a mentor or a
Yeah,
trainer for sure.
because we partner up. We're not up here as your mentor, which mentors are great. Oh my
Of
God.
course, I've had them.
Trainers are
Yeah,
great, teachers are
yeah,
great,
yeah.
but your coach literally partners up with you.
Yeah, it's a relationship. I agree. So tell us, please. So you've explained a little bit about your coaching style, that, it's like more, in depth, reflective, more of a relationship. Can you tell us a bit? Let's segue into your wellness hub, your Fab After 40 mindset and wellness hub. Can you tell us a bit more about that? Why did you create this hub? What's it all about? How can women join, etc.?
I'm embarrassed because I have to hold on 2 seconds. Where I changed the name. It's Fab After 40 Women's Health and Mindset Hub. Fab After 40. Well, it's in my Instagram. There you go. Because I started going online and listening to all these webinars and business stuff. And when I decided, okay, I'm really going to study and be certified as a coach, I'm really going to get into this. And you see a lot of webinars and
Yeah.
business stuff, and you don't know which is which. People are
Yeah.
going LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok. I'm not a TikTok person. And you don't know what to do. And so I decided I do hang around in Facebook. I
Yeah.
still do. I'm going to use a group. And also, I'm finding that a lot of women that are tapping into me and connecting with me are on LinkedIn. And I love Instagram, even though I thought I'm not when I thought of Instagram, I thought it was like taking selfies and dancing and being the Kardashians, right? It's not that. More people of different sectors in life and more demographics are coming on here. So in my Facebook hub, I really wanted to use that. And I niched out because everybody kept saying, you have to niche, you have to niche. And I kept funneling and funneling and funneling. And I thought, well, I'm 56. So I'll make it a Fab After 50 Women's Wellness Club. It was too niche.
I agree with that.
And I skinned my knees going, a lot of people are asking me for help. And who are my clients? I have a 27-year-old.
Of course.
Who I coach, and he kept just connecting with me on LinkedIn, even though I was a woman's coach.
Of course.
He's now a paying client. So
Of
I was
course.
there are a lot of women who wanted my advice or help or referrals who were in their 30s and And so I went back and I finally decided to get a coach to talk me through this rather than watching all the webinars and all the business stuff being thrown at me.
Yeah, I
Step
agree.
back, and I realized I can use my experience and my wisdom for younger people. And also I'm helping older people. I have a 71-year-old client.
I
So,
love that.
and yes,
Oh,
out because you need to be specific and
I
help
love
your
that.
client. But I realized my thing, what am I? I'm helping people with finding out what it is that they want in their life,
Mhm.
and then what is getting in their way, setting their own mission statement. And you are your own company. Angela is her own company. What is my mission statement? Like Wendy's, like Google, like Amazon. What is my mission statement based on my core values? And then everything branches from that. Your career decisions, your daily decisions, your family decisions, your relationships, your sex, your health, your fitness, everything comes from your core values. So when I looked that up, I realized that is holistic. Somebody's got a mic on. That's holistic. I always thought the word holistic was woo woo and just eating. It's not
I
holistic because
love that
it's
name. I love that word.
with the body. So I decided I'm an
It's
expert
from
in fitness
it's
and
head to toe. It's head to toe.
I'm an expert in exercise, expert in nutrition. Bring that in. I'm great at accountability because all my clients just keep telling me that I'm the queen of accountability, the support, and I bring in the mindset. So I realized my coach and I talked it out, talked out. She's like, well, what are you describing? I'm like, I'm describing a holistic coach. I'm a life coach, and I mainly like to work with women. And she's like, you got it right there. And that's how my new name came about. I'm a holistic life coach for women with a positive approach to your mind, body, and self-health care advocacy. The reason I say a positive approach, because we don't start with what's wrong with you. Let's first look at what's right with you.
All your strengths. Yeah. Yeah. Now, what I like too, and I have fought or resisted, this whole idea of niching as well, to be honest with you. And I started coaching a lot on, for example, in these clubhouse rooms. And
Mhm.
I noticed there were so many men coming with questions. And I spoke with my coach and I said, oh my goodness, I thought I was going to focus mainly on women, but I keep getting all these men coming here. And I
Men
said,
turn to for veganism. I'm serious. They
yeah,
turn to their wives or they turn to their
yeah,
daughters, you know?
yeah. And he said to me, well, I guess that means that, there's a demand for it. And if you can help them, then why not? And so I do agree. And I also applaud you for, changing it to like fab after 40, because, I think you can just help so many more people. And yes, you will have people younger and of course much older. And I applaud all of those too. But what I wanted to really say to you also, Ronnie, is that I think it's really great that you're focusing on this like midlife era of our lifespan, because at this point we have accumulated so many skills, so much experience, so much education. However, a lot of us are pivoting, we're changing, and particularly in the last 21 months, a lot of people have pivoted. And I just think it's great that with all of the experience and the wealth of, basically education and career knowledge and personal knowledge, because it's not only career, it's not only education, it's your personal experience that contributes to all of this. So I really want to applaud you for focusing on the midlife kind of phase of our lives.
Yeah.
But also, of course, not excluding anyone who may be younger and, of course, who may be older, because I feel it's just never too late.
Yeah, in your 40s, a lot of women are redefining themselves and going, whoa, 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 my teenage kids are going to college. Or some of them already have kids in college or adult kids. Some women in their 40s are now having kids. So midlife
Yes,
is so different than in our grandmother's time. It can be from your start in your 40s or your 50s or your 60s or your
I agree.
it's different from everybody. So I really see how women are redefining themselves because we had to in this economy.
Yeah,
And I think a lot of people are thriving because they've realized not to say a bucket list because I'm going to die, but it's like unfulfilled passions. What
yeah,
is passion? Follow that inner voice, follow that feeling, follow your gut feeling like you thought, okay, I can serve men. I'm not going to niche out that much. I thought I had to niche out. And so I went along down that stream, and then I finally listened to myself. I don't have to niche out that much, but I
I
do want to
agree.
focus on the midlife
Yeah.
in career and in your health and all that. And self-health advocacy comes about because many very highly educated people, especially women, don't ask enough questions at their doctors. We're there with our gowns with the back open, or just, even if you just keep all your clothes on. When we go to the doctors, we may be highly educated, we may be very smart, bright, common sense, but for some reason we don't ask enough questions from our doctors. And we leave there with a prescription, or oh, you're okay, or you're too stressed, or maybe relax, or whatever, and we don't find the answers. If you feel like something's really wrong, most of the time I have found with my clients, there is.
Yeah.
And the doctor just didn't catch it. Now, I love doctors. I respect doctors. But what is the worst graduate in med school? Still a doctor.
That's a scary description there.
Best doctor, the worst doctor, you don't know how they were in med school. They're following the protocol and what they learned. And more power to them. That they're there for that. But they follow the protocol of whatever system they're in. So trust yourself. And I'm really helping women be prepared with what's really wrong with you. Tap into it. Do your research. Don't worry. If a lot of women, I've asked them, well, what is the worst case scenario? Again, face the monsters before you go. Most women are just afraid that if they ask a lot of questions, their doctor's either going to think, oh, you Googled it, or you WebMD'd it, and now you're coming up with all these questions, or it's all in your mind, or that they're being too demanding or taking up too much of their time. Okay, get it out of you. Get it out of your system before you go into think,
I love that. Yeah.
what do I want in my doctor? And when you find a doctor that spends time with you and listens to you, and also women are afraid to bring up, well, my vegan coach or my energy healer or my acupuncturist thinks or my herbalist thinks, they don't even bring it up. It's like,
they're afraid. Yeah. They're afraid. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Make everyone that works for you.
Take ownership. Take ownership.
Get all your practitioners and make them your team.
I agree.
Is maybe telling your doctor and or your naturopathic doctor, doctor, I just want to tell you, I'm using this, and this type of person as my practitioner. I'm so grateful that you listen to me and that you are one of my team. You are part of my team, or even say you're the head of my team.
Yeah.
There you go. Who cares?
Yeah. No, but I think it's ownership. It's ownership, and, it's taking responsibility, like you're saying. Again, I applaud you for, coaching your clients on this, because a lot of times, I know I personally, many, many, many years ago, I had a particular gynecologist, and she really just would just skim over. Everything was just so surface level. It was just so quick. And I just said to myself, oh my gosh, I think I just really need to change. I need to switch to another provider. And I did. And then I had someone who was, a little bit more in depth, who would at least answer my questions, And so I really think that we owe it to ourselves.
And often, Angela, don't you find that, oh, I just didn't think of that? I mean, 4 ears, 4 eyes, and 2 brains are always better. But now with this COVID time, we can't go with people as we used to. But when you can again, or find out if you can take somebody with you, because often you just don't think of something.
I agree. Another perspective, yeah, I agree with you on that. So I really think that's a super important aspect of what you're providing. You're empowering women or your clients in general to, take ownership and not to hand over all that power. My coach calls it outsourcing. He thinks that, a lot of times, in our lives, we just outsource too much to other people, and we don't really take the time to, do our own kind of legwork.
Yeah, and see, I do. I go to rabbit holes. I can spend an hour when I went on there for 5 minutes because I want to look something up. But I love reading about health and wellness and all that. I always have. And that's why I became a personal trainer, because when I was with my personal trainer who was training me, I would do so much research and then ask her questions. And that's why she started saying, you need to be a personal trainer.
I love that.
But I love researching. But the other thing is, nowadays if you can't go with somebody to kind of listen and maybe remind you to ask something or think of something themselves, a lot of hospitals and clinics and systems like the UCLA system or Kaiser or whatever you use, Cedars-Sinai, they have patient portals now. Yeah. And you can go in your patient portal and send a message to your doctor, and don't give up.
agree.
Often you will get a medical assistant, nothing wrong with medical assistants, but if
Yeah,
you really want an answer from your doctor, say, I totally respect what you're saying. I still want an answer from my doctor. You
yeah.
have every right. Don't
I
shrink.
agree. I agree. I mean, it's again, it's ownership. It's, basically self-care and self-love. That's how I see it.
Yeah.
And not, being worried about, well, what's proper, and are they going to think that I'm like, breaking boundaries here? No, it's your life. So, totally you need to, speak up for yourself. I do want to say hi to everybody who's joining either live or on the replay. Please put your questions and comments down below for Ronnie, and she'll be happy to answer. Ronnie, tell us, please, do you have any future projects or services that you're working on that you're willing to share at this time?
Well, I am well, my Facebook group, again, Fab After 40, Women's Health and Mindset.
And how do people join that? How do people join?
You'll see it in my bio, my link tree. But I have interviewed a few experts there, but I kind of scaled back because I wanted to, what's my direction? Okay. I'm going to resume that where I have other experts in other fields, because I love interviewing other people in various topics. Like I had five interviews on intermittent fasting. I know a lot about intermittent
I
fasting.
love intermittent fasting.
I had 5 different experts on different sub areas, like menopause and intermittent fasting is different than if you're in your 20s. Or what about the athlete, the sports person? How can I fast when I need to be eating 3,000 calories a day? So I was bringing in experts in little
I
detail.
like that.
So I'm having experts on there. So please check out my Facebook group. You don't have to be over 40, but I just put that. Because most women in there are. It is for women. I'm excluding the men. Sorry.
Okay. No, that's important to know, because we have some men joining. That's important to know.
And we get a little TMI in there. We get, somebody was asking some.
I saw some of the questions.
So yeah. So and I want it to be a safe space that we can talk about that we can talk about
I
our
agree.
femininity and our women parts and even sex.
I agree.
We can
I agree.
You can even cuss in there. I don't care, as long as it doesn't get too bad. Okay. But anyway, we're helping each other out. I see that Dana Lawson is with us. She's one person. She commented to another member, and they started their whole thread. And I jumped in there and I gave my 2 cents. But I want that to be a place where, hey, I'm going to the doctor and I'm doing this, and he told me that. Does anybody have an experience? And go ahead and comment with each other.
It's a safe space. It's a safe space.
Ideas, resources. I'm also going to be putting exclusive webinars in there.
Okay.
So I'm planning things for the new year. I'm going to have the Highlight Woman of the Week. I had you as one. Yay.
Thank you so much.
Oh, of course. I got a lot of great feedback on that. But also coming up, I'm going to be having webinars with some collaborators. Things like collagen. Does it really get rid of wrinkles? What does it really help? And what is the main difference between the powder and the liquid? Because that's going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, things like that. So I have things like that coming up. I will always put in my Instagram and my link tree, and for you to opt in with your email. I have something on habit stacking, because I'm huge on that.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Metabolism. So I'm going to be coming up with different webinars to give information. Again, my bread and butter, my career is life coaching. But I love giving you little pieces and details for your health and wellness, because all that affects all aspects of your life. Our health is a subset of our career, our relationships, whether you have brain fog, whether you're fully present with your kids. Yeah. So they're all subsets of each other.
It's all connected. It's all connected. And I really like that habit stacking topic, because, we kicked off this conversation talking about diet, or, going to different functions, or going to different events, or career, or fitness. But all of these are habits. They're basically habits. It's, it's like our daily activities. And so I really love that segmentation that you made.
Yeah, let's say you think you don't have enough. You want to start a new habit of getting in better shape. Start small.
Or going to bed on time. Hello.
Exactly. So let's say right after I brush my teeth, I'm going to do 2 push-ups. The next day, I'll do 3 push-ups. Minimum 2 push-ups. It usually grows. Or I'm going to make it a habit of journaling. But people think, oh my God, journaling just takes too much. I'm going to write
I love journaling.
5 things at night as I'm in bed. 5 things, like 5 lines, literally
Yeah.
5 lines.
Yeah.
May grow, that may not, but
Yeah.
that becomes a habit. Like, you cannot put your pillow and turn the light out until you write your 5 things. You're connecting. It used to be called habit chaining, but after the 2 popular books, Atomic
I
Habits,
like stacking. Yeah, I like
yeah,
stacking.
stacking is like you connect.
You build on it.
You already do. Don't add more to it. Replace something you already do with something else, but to something you already do. And you don't need to add more hours to 24 hours. We all have the same
We
thing.
only have 24.
So I'm really big, and I have in my Instagram, in my link tree, I actually have a PDF. I just remembered because of something else I did, a habit stacking,
Yeah.
to kind of set you off on the right track, give you some ideas of how to do it. And also in the habit stacking, one of the recommendations is start out with an accountability partner. They really work.
I agree. I agree because it's like you're going to let them down and we don't like letting people down. So we have some comments here.
Think of the positive side.
Yeah.
Don't you thrill somebody when you go, guess what? I did this and did that, and you keep each other accountable and she's rooting for you. You actually get happy.
Yeah, it's like, you're cheerleading for each other. Yeah, I want to say hi there to Ted. And then it was a great convo, great subject about collagen. I like stacking too. Awesome. So, Ronnie, tell us, please, what is the best way or the best ways for folks to contact you for information, collaboration, questions, comments, etc.?
Right here on Instagram, just message me. In my bio, there's also, some people have their email in there, some don't. I do. So email me, message me, or DM me in Facebook. I'm Ronnie Loiza. But just get a hold of me through here. I'm also on Clubhouse, so you'll find me. It's Ronnie Loiza. I forgot my handle, but it's in the IG. I forget all these handles.
There's so many. Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
you can only fit so many. But
Oh,
please
I
DM me.
know.
I answer all my DMs. I really do. And again, Dana, thank you for coming on. She's a great example. So are you. You guys go in and you like in my Facebook page. You put in comments. It's not promoting yourself. It's sharing of yourself. So I love that.
Awesome. Well, we're all in this together. So before we wrap this up, Ronnie, I do want to thank everyone who joined either live or on the replay. And Ronnie, I want to thank you particularly. And I want to ask you if there's anything you want to, any final thoughts or comments that you want to share with us to kind of wrap this all up and put a bow on it for us, please.
Yes. It's only a big deal if you make it a big deal. It's only a deal if you make it a deal. Breathe, laugh. Habits are not that hard to break because we're one big walking blob of habits. From the second you wake up in the morning to the second you go to bed at night, everything we do is a habit. Therefore, it is your identity. It is your identity. You can't change it. You weren't born out of your mother's womb already knowing how to brush your teeth. You were conditioned. So if you were conditioned all your life, you can recondition yourself. Yes, you can. And ask for help. Ask for
And
help.
there's no shame in asking for help.
No, it's power.
It's courageous. It's brave. It's courageous.
Look at it that way. And one more thing, I'm huge on accountability, and I'm huge on setting schedules, fitting fitness in your life, and fitting health in your life, and fitting self-care. That said, even though I live and breathe by my Google Calendar, during the holidays, I invite you to look at your calendar, whether it's in Outlook, whatever you use, and start making some space, leave some empty spaces. That's really hard for women to do because you want to fill up every minute.
We want to be super women.
I invite you to leave some spaces, not with a reason. No reason. You don't know what you're going to do then. Leave it empty. It's like, yeah, but that's a waste of time.
No, it's not.
That will end up being either time that you catch up on work, or it'll be time that you do something fun. It'll be time that you may kick back and watch something in the middle of the day on TV. And who knows? But you're not going to sit there and
I love that.
You're going to end up doing something, and you won't be so overwhelmed, and you won't have so much brain fog, and there will be a lot less stress. I challenge you to do that for a week, to kind of throw away some stuff from your to-do list, from your calendar.
I love that. It's like you're creating like breathing room. You're it's like an act of self-love and self-care. You're not like piling it on. I really love that tip. So I hope that everyone is gonna consider these awesome tips from Ronnie. Again, I want to thank everybody who joined. I want to thank you, Ronnie. I am now going to wrap this up. I'm gonna save it to IGTV, my feed and stories, and then I'll message you after.
All right, Ronnie Lowe, life coach, and Angela, thank you so much. You are an angel, and I really dig your vibe. I so dig it.
Thank you, Ronnie. And again, thank you so much. And I'll message you in a minute or so.
Okay, and I'll tap into you for more vegan advice.
Awesome. Thank you, Ronnie. And thanks, everybody. Take good care. Bye bye.